Cowboys' RB playing time will depend on offensive line performance. It is going to be very interesting to see how the Cowboys distribute carries among their running backs. The Dallas Cowboys head into their 2024 training camp with a murky cloud hanging over the running back position. Who will be the starter, or more importantly, who will get the most touches? Interestingly, how that shakes out could depend a lot on the performance of the offensive line. Sometimes you know who the primary back will be no matter the circumstances. That was the case last season with Tony Pollard and for years before him with Ezekiel Elliott. Even in 2022, when Pollard was the more effective back, Zeke still edged him out in total touches. This season, the RB depth chart isn't so well defined. Elliott is back after his one-year sojourn in New England but without any entitlement to the lead role. Rico Dowdle was re-signed as a potential candidate and veteran free agent Royce Freeman was also added. If the Cowboys were thinking they'd come out of the draft with a potential RB1, that wasn't the result. So now it feels like a pretty clear competition between Dowdle and Elliott, with Freeman more of an insurance policy who may not even make the roster. Assuming those first two guys do, additional spots probably go to the likes of Deuce Vaughn and FB Hunter Luepke for utility roles. Naturally, the competition will have a lot to do with how the backs perform this summer. In truth, there may not be much of a competition if Dallas plans to use their backs more as a group than a clear starter/backup system. For many of us, we don't care as long as their plan leads to wins. But if you are worried about snap counts for fantasy or just general interest purposes, a potential committee approach introduces a powerful variable in terms of the offensive line. Depending on the quality of the run blocking this year, how much Dowdle and Elliott are on the field could shift dramatically. We're now far from the days of assuming the Cowboys' offensive line is going to be one of the league's best. While still boasting all-pro pieces in guards Zach Martin and Tyler Smith, we're probably looking at two rookie starters in LT Tyler Guyton and C. Cooper Beebe. And while he was trending upward by the end of last season, RT Terrence Steele still has to earn back the trust he had before the 2022 ACL injury. The switch from Tyler Biadasz to Beebe isn't scaring too many, but going from Tyron Smith to Guyton comes with a strong chance of growing pains. Thankfully for the running backs, those fears are more about the rookie's pass blocking. But if there are early struggles for the new kids on the line, those could lead to big swings in RB utilization. Rico Dowdle fans should be rooting for the offensive line to gel quickly. If the blocks are there, Dowdle still has youth and less mileage on his side. He's always displayed solid vision and the ability to finish runs powerfully, picking up those important dirty yards. With solid offensive play, Dowdle seems best suited for the traditional lead role and to lead the position in touches. If the run blocking isn't great, though, things may shift in Elliott's favor. Mike McCarthy is a West Coast offense guy, and that scheme has often used short yardage passing in situations that traditionally called for carries. With CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson as outstanding targets for those calls, plus Dak Prescott's running ability, McCarthy might lean on the passing game to move the chains. More passing probably means more Zeke, who is a renowned pass-blocking RB and receiver. Even in a reduced role last year behind Ramondre Stevenson in the Patriots' backfield, Elliott still had 51 catches. Dallas brought him back because of those special gifts in his game and his chemistry with Prescott, which would also make him a favorite option in crucial moments. You can see why the question of who will be the Cowboys' lead RB is hard to answer right now. Frankly, they may not have one. Different opponents and strategies for beating them could drive the snaps between Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, and offensive line performance should be a big factor. Unless Dowdle just dominates during training camp and preseason, don't expect a traditional RB depth chart this year. It won't be the norm for the franchise of Emmitt Smith, Tony Dorsett, and Elliott, but it's where the Cowboys have left themselves going into 2024. Analyst says Cowboys star should leave the team. The Dallas Cowboys have several stars who are looking for contract extensions right now, but the biggest and most important one is quarterback Dak Prescott. Though the sides reportedly have held contract talks, they are not close to an agreement, and it is looking more likely that Prescott could play out the 2024 season and then become a free agent. People are starting to contemplate the Cowboys and Prescott parting ways after this coming season, and on Speak on FS1, James Jones said Prescott should leave because Dallas hasn't shown it wants him to stay. "I think he should want out," Jones said. "And the main reason he should want out is because you guys ain't really showed me that y'all really want me like that." One would think owner Jerry Jones would have been more aggressive this offseason in making sure he secured Prescott with an extension, but that hasn't happened. One has to wonder if the Cowboys aren't even sure they want Prescott to be their QB past the 2024 season. In 2023, the 30-year-old had a sensational regular season in which he led the NFL in passing touchdowns and was a legitimate MVP candidate, but as usual, he greatly underperformed in the playoffs as Dallas got trounced in the wild-card round by the Green Bay Packers. Behind Prescott, the Cowboys have an intriguing young signal caller in Trey Lance, who was the number 3 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers, and there are those who may want to give him a chance to become their QB of the future. For now, however, they do have plenty of talent, and they will go as far as Prescott takes them in January and, they hope, in February. Dallas Cowboys analyst urges Dak Prescott to discuss exit amid stalled contract talks. The Dallas Cowboys are facing uncertainty in extending quarterback Dak Prescott's contract, leading to speculation that he may leave the team after the 2024 season. Analyst James Jones suggested on FS1 that Prescott should consider leaving due to the team's perceived lack of interest in retaining him. The Cowboys' decision not to secure Prescott with a contract extension raises questions about their long-term commitment to him as their starting quarterback. State of play. Contract talks between Dak Prescott and the Cowboys have not led to an agreement, increasing the likelihood of Prescott becoming a free agent after the 2024 season. The team's handling of Prescott's contract situation has fueled speculation about his future with the Cowboys. What's next? The outcome of Dak Prescott's contract negotiations with the Cowboys will determine whether he remains with the team beyond the upcoming season or seeks opportunities elsewhere. The uncertainty surrounding Dak Prescott's future in Dallas underscores the importance of securing key players with timely contract extensions to maintain stability and competitiveness in the NFL. By the way, Dak made clear that there are currently no hard feelings toward Jerry Jones. In fact, the quarterback showed he has a lot of leverage. If he delivers a great 2024 season, the Cowboys will have to pay even more next year or any other team could knock on the door. "I don't really take things personal. Maybe in my first deal, maybe things were a little different than they are now. It's my age and who I am, where I am in my life, and I guess the fact that that first deal got done. The understanding that I have a lot of decision in this too. I have a lot of say-so, too.